Hey, my name's Shane, and today's episode continue on with the adventure of the 78 MGB, and this car has a Rover 3.5 liter V8 in it. It's the old Buick 215 all aluminum V8 design that Rover bought from GM and then put in several of their cars for several years, clear up into the 90s, I believe. So anyway, my car's outfitted with an LT77 transmission. It's a 5-speed out of a Triumph TR8, which also had a Rover V8 in it. So where we're at today, yesterday I was able to get spark and get this thing to light off on priming the carb with some gas. I've always been used to setting points on cars that you can reach them with the feeler gauge and actually set the gap. And so I learned something new this go around, because this car, apparently these Rover V8s came with 2 or 3 different distributors, I believe. And the one I have looks to be a GM design. It's got weights on top, and there is no physical way to get a feeler gauge inside to check that gap while you're trying to set it. So in doing some research and talking to some great people on various Facebook groups that have to do with MGBs and V8 conversions, found out that this uses dwell angle, which I was familiar with the term, not completely clear on what it actually does for us, but I'm starting to learn a little bit more about that. It has to do with, I guess, how much of the time of a clock that it's firing, I think. But at any rate, the main point of all that is that you have to have the dwell angle set properly in order for this thing to run right. And I'm not there yet. I still have to get a dwell meter. I was going to pick one up today and ran out of time to go the opposite direction to pick it up, so hopefully tomorrow. But that all said, where we're going to go today is get the fuel system plumbed up from a temporary tank with one of my low pressure external pumps and some filters, and get it run to the carb, and we'll see if we can get this thing to idle for us. My name is Shane, and I like to do car stuff even when I don't exactly know what I'm doing. Okay, 78 MGB adventure continues. Where I left off yesterday was I actually got it to fire off once by priming it with fuel. Haven't changed carb out yet, so it's still the Edelbrock 600. And anyway, I got my temporary gas tank up because the new gas tank is still not plumbed in yet. I'd save that for another day, but at least wanted to see if I could get it to idle. I got my pump hooked up with a filter coming out of my clean can. Got one side to ground and one side to the key on side of the fuse over here. Got it plumbed into the carb, and everything else is where it was yesterday. So let's engage that key and see what we can do. All right, here we go. Fuel pump's on. With that, okay, so get out of the sun here. All right, another good day. It starts and idles, even though it's got not the right tuning on that carb, let alone the right carb. So I guess the next step will be to swap out the carb and get things dialed in, which I am not a carb person, or as far as a tuner, but maybe I can at least get it on there and figure out how to get it running halfway decent. Get the fuel tank plumbed in, and that'll be one of the next things also. And then from there, I'll just have to get to where I can rev it and feel confident and that it's got a good mixture on the carb. And then I will also work on getting the clutch slave cylinder installed, get that system bled out, and then maybe we can see if we can put the thing in gear, take it for a little ride. But that'll I don't know when that'll be. So I gotta see if my mechanic guy's coming over this weekend to help me out, because I've got a busy weekend schedule at work with the project I'm working on. So we'll see if we can make some progress with my new mechanic friend, and hopefully he can get the clutch taken care of for me and maybe get the fuel tank plumbed in. So that's it for tonight. Hope everybody has a great weekend.